Oh, hi. What did I come back to? Ran upstairs quickly to say goodnight to kiddos. And stuffs and things are happening. Oh, hi. He's back. Scatter. Hi, Misfortune. Oh, my goodness. Hi, Juju. Tika. Good to see you, friends. How we doing? Janelle, Sinister. Hello. Cheyenne. What's up, Mock? Appreciate you guys. Juju, thank you for the biddies. Steph, thank you for the Prime for 13 months. Oh, my Lanta. What else did we miss? There's other things. Other things and stuff have happened. Sinister, thank you for the biddies. Vin, thank you for the 21 months. Oh, hi, Vin. Teeny, thank you for the 17. Event, thank you for the 13. Oh, my goodness. And Horse Gal, you freaking sub before I even went live. He says, oh, hi, Flash. Oh, thank you, Mayor. I have an in. That in is Mayor being able to physically face to face talk to Vin. Oh, what's up, Ace? How we doing? I'm good. Normal day. Nothing too crazy. Nothing too wild and crazy. The offer you put on your house got accepted. Hey, dude, congrats. Let's go. Big freaking steps. Dude, that's a big move. That is a big move. That's awesome. Hold on a sec. There we go. That is uber adulting. That is correct. Blondie, Mr. Tree. No, don't you ever worry about it. Thank you for the bits. And Kana, thank you for the 10 months. All right. We got plans today. Can I go back to bed? Yes. You are more than welcome to, friend. Of course. Hi. Plans, what are those? I don't know. I heard they're cool, though. Hey, Molo. Good to see you. Hey, how are you?
Which one did you give to Al? I get your attention.
What'd you just hit me with? She threw gummies at me.
Which one did you give him?
I gave him the tablets.
The tablets?
Yeah. Ow. She needed no. It wasn't to. No, it was literally just to get my attention. No, Al was. He wasn't feeling hot earlier, so I gave him some medicine, and we're doing the old. You do the old flip flop. So, gave him one type. We don't want to give him the other type. Well, give him the same type twice. Yeah, he's doing okay though. He's fine. He was just feeling warm earlier. Hey, Frog. Happy Thanksgiving. That's right, Canadian Thanksgiving. Yeah, for all my Canada friends. Hey, Cinnamon. I'm good. How's it going? So, we are doing the weekly today, which I never remember until it's the day of, and then someone kind of slowly reminds me what it was. And this one was not that great. Even Tater was like, yeah, you probably want to have someone with you just for the entertainment factor. I'm gonna run solo because the reason being is that not everyone's going to have someone they can run these with. So I think it's always nice or beneficial for someone to see a solo run to get ideas. Need the plushie shirt. Oh no, I love it. I know it's not going anywhere. It's not like a limited time or anything. It is living there. So please. Oh no, it's okay. Yeah. Thank you, Halen. He's fine. Even after giving him medicine after a little while and he ate and all that jazz, he was saying he felt better. So I have a question. Will any of them shrink when washed? It depends on how you wash them. Yeah. I mean, as long as you're not like high heat your delicates, you'll be okay. I mean, I always wash my I never wash my delicates high heat because all my shirts would shrink. Yeah. Do a round alone and with someone? No. If I'm going to do a round with someone, I'm going to do the entire thing with someone. I think it would be weird to do one with and one without. Well, and especially because there's 3 rounds. Yeah. You wash delicates with hot water. Are they pre-shrunk though? Wash them inside out. Yeah, you do the same thing with your jeans. Turn your jeans inside out so that way they don't lose the wash. Know what I'm saying? Nah, I'm saying. Nope. How's all your shrunken clothes? I hope they're great. Okay. Off school today. Nice. Nice. So we're doing the weekly. And then after the weekly, we're going to prestige. Because, yep, we're going to do it. We're going to prestige today. And then that means I need to work my tail off to get back up to our tier 3 stuff by the time the events happen, the Halloweens and stuffs. We don't know what the date is yet still, but them not announcing it yet tells me I have time. But I do have to move a little quickly. Yeah, a little quick. Sorry. Hey, Els, thank you for the 7 months. Prestige worldwide. Hi, Amber. Northern, good to see you. So that's what we're going to do. The reason that I'm doing weekly and then prestige, it would make sense to prestige and then do the weekly for the levels. It's because the weekly is time sensitive. Me prestiging is not. Me getting the weekly out there on YouTubes and all that jazz, it's more important to have that sooner than the prestige is. So I want to follow sequence so I can get the weekly up and then get that up. Yeah. I saw the 30-minute fart train. Yeah. Blondie was ever so kind to go back through and borderline count the number, listed all of them out. There's a method. Of course there's a method. Yeah. Did you prestige like last week? No. When did I prestige? I could go back to my videos and see when I prestige last. Yeah. Sammy, thank you for the 18 months. Hello. Yeah. There was 80 plus. Did I get them all? Yeah, I think you did. It's just that some of the ones that were in there were not actually farts. So that's why I was like, I rounded down. Over 80. In one train, over 80. Wild. All right, let's get Phasma open. Here for the fart train. It already passed through the station. It's already moved on. It's moved on to the next town. I think it's stopping off in Chingisville, I think is what I heard. Hey, Murphy. Thank you for the 4 months. I appreciate you, friend. No, Janelle. No, it already happened. It's too late. It already happened. It's gone. Came in and heard over 80 farts on the fart train. Welcome back. Phoenix. It was an interesting stream. If you get overstimulated by a lot of sounds at one time, that was one heck of a time. Break, I swear to God. Hi, Mermaid. Delilah, thank you for the 6 months. I appreciate you. Hey, Promise, good to see you. What's up, Ruckus? All right. See, we got our prestige button, but we're not going to press it yet. We're doing the weekly. We're not pressing that yet. Not yet. Puss in Boots. Hello, friend. Good to see you. Hey, how are you? Hey, Charlie. Charlie, you don't have to say you're sorry for being late every time. You could just say, hey. That's totally acceptable. You're never late. You're perfectly on time, whatever the best time is for you. Who just got merch? I can't see it. Where the hell is it? Son of a bitch. I'm going to use my phone because I don't have that open right now. Because I don't have it open right now. Your name didn't pop up. Somebody just got merch. What happened? Oh, it doesn't show your. Oh, Sarah, thank you so much for getting merch, friend. I appreciate it. I can see it now. I just have to use my phone to see it. Wait a minute. Hold on. Did you guys? Wait. Did you guys hear? Hold on. Did you hear a blurp? Because I did not. I'm doing that thing. Roger that. You heard it? Shit. That means the blurps. Hold on. It's going to be a turn it off, turn it back on. I guarantee it. Because I can hear everything else. It's going to be a turn it off, turn it back on. It'll probably be fine. It'll probably be fine. Battle Corgi, thank you for the 11 months. Messed up again? No, it's OBS. It's OBS. Cassidy, thank you for the 7. Hello. All right. Ain't the age kicking in? Well, listen, if the blurps are the only thing I can't hear, that's dementia. All right, let me get the weekly information from Mr. Mike, and then I'll be ready to rock. Hold on. Okay, I want to make sure I can hear the game. Sounds okay. Hey, Cassidy, how are you? What are my keybinds for global and local? It's the same. It's just I map them to my mouse. So it's default, but I map those buttons to my mouse. So that way I have on my thumb, I've got my local and my global. Challenge mode. There it is. Hey, what's up, Oblivion? How are you? New weekly's annoying. Yeah, that's literally everybody has been saying how annoying this weekly is. And we've done it multiple times now, but I still just don't. I think this one I repressed. I have a feeling this one we did not want to remember. But who knows? Maybe we'll get lucky. You never know. Okay. Weekly acquired. Good deal. All right, now I can close Discord. You and your partner did so well this round. Nice. Nice. I know we don't get everything, so if you get a ghosty that just so happens to need all the equipment that you don't have, you're playing Process of Elimination at that point. So there's no such thing as luck. No, there definitely is. There definitely is. Frost Divide. Yeah, it's supposed to be cold tomorrow. Yeah. Zimmy, thank you for the 10-month Prime. I need to use my Primes up. I got to use mine. Thank you, friend. Only the Force. Oh, roger that. Turn the sound back on? It wasn't the sound. It was the actual drop itself. I completely removed it. It's gone. No. Drop is gone. If I'm not using the drop, it would be useless to have the sound. No, that's deleted. That is Xnade. Who claimed first? I just assume it's Mare every time. Yeah, it's Mare. If it's not Mare, that means Mare was busy. That's usually what that means. Emerald, thank you for the 4 months. I appreciate you. Swear to God. I will turn blurps up to 5,000 bits. I swear to God. Luckily, those sounds don't come through the VOD, which is totally fine. The other ones did. These do not. That's boss music. Hi, Papa Smurf. You won't do it? You don't try. I swear to God, I'll do it. All right. Let me get going. We got to get moving. This is going to take me 15 years. I got to get moving. Mare. That timeout time is wonderful. Oh, that's so good. Hey, Mel, thank you for the 3 months. That's funny. That's funny. Thank you, Break. She timed him out for 69 seconds. Totally worth. Totally worth. Okay. That's good. That's rolling. I also approve. I approve of these things all day. He's going to come back and go, wow. We know him too well. He's going to go, wow. Hey, Complex, how are you? Gets timed out. By that a lot? Oh, just on random channels? Oh, that's fair. Gotta be laughing. Oh, you know he is. You know he is. Gregory, thank you for continuing your sub. I appreciate you. All right. We're about to do the weekly. I'm just getting all my stuffs and things set up. So the weekly is about to happen. So strap in. It's going to be a long time. It's going to take a while. But we're doing it. Okay. All right. Get that there. Put that there. Put that there. Tyranny. Hi, Moon Bunny. How are you? Good to see a friend. Thank you, Northern. Yeah. What Northern said, Dana? Yeah, the Sheriff some 7B. Hey, Murky. How are you? One of the weeklies where you have to figure out the ghost based on hunting pattern. This is just, I know that this is one of the weeklies that is large map. You only have so much to work with. You don't have all your equipment. And I'm pretty sure you don't have a cursed possession. So it's not like I can just force the ghost to hunt. Yeah, unfortunately. Hi, Roxy. How was your day, friend? Was today a chill day for you or no? Still, you're there now? Oh shit! Are you? Wait, they don't have fireworks, right? Waiting on a pretzel? Hey, oh, hey man, Mickey pretzel. Sheesh. Can't go wrong. Hey, soundbite. Hey, how are you? All right, eventually this is going to kick in. I'm going to be able to see all the things, but it's being real slow about it. Hey, what's up, Eric? How are you? All right, we'll do this. No, don't, no. I'm logging out of stuff and logging back in, trying to make it work. Galaxy's Edge is my absolute favorite place here. Oh yeah, it's so cool. Dude, I love all of it. It's so great. Minty, thank you for the 14 months. Hi, friend. It's so great. Okay. All right. Well, that's the best we can do. I'll hopefully be able to work from there. I can't see all the messages and all the things. Hi, Nathan. Hello. All right. You guys ready? Rise of the Resistance ride is so immersive. Yeah, there's a lot that are. Yeah, I loved the Guardians ride at Epcot is amazing. Yeah. Hi, Ms. V. Think about doing this week's weekly. Maybe I'll just wait till next week. And listen, I think, I don't know who it was earlier. I think it was Wolfen I was watching that said something. Wolfen had said, and I agree with him, like, if you're doing the weekly because you're trying to get XP and money, some of these you're better off just playing Pro or Nightmare for a few games and you'll get your stuff. If you want to challenge yourself, you know, go for this just to be able to say that you did it, right? Hi, Crow. Did you manage to switch? No, not yet, Nathan. I'm waiting on them. Yeah, I'm waiting on them. I put it back on them. I don't have to return them or anything, which I guess is good. But no, the beans number 7. I'm waiting on them to get them to me. Hi, Alyssa. Hope it actually comes to console. It's this month. This month. Tiny, thank you for the 6 months. All right, are we ready? We're done delaying. I skipped on Guardians. Oh, it's so good. In the queue for 2 hours. Yeah, that's fair. That does suck. I can hear them. Thank you, Halmal. This week's challenge is audio only. We've managed to get a hold of some extra audio equipment. You'll have to use your ears on this one. And it's at Sunny Meadows, which, I mean, ears-wise is fine. It's just, I believe that we're missing some things, which is going to make this difficult. But 3 times we get 5K. Let's see what we have to work with this time. So, we have all 3 evidence, maybe, 100% player speed, 100% ghost speed, no cursed object, and we are missing equipment, obviously, with audio only. We're missing a bunch. So, as a solo player, I cannot check for orbs. If you really desperately want to have the chance to see another piece of evidence, have another player with you, because one of you can turn on the head cam, and then someone else can watch from the truck and see if you have orbs. So, there's benefits to playing with multiple people. I'm playing this one solo because there's going to be people that do not have someone else to play this with. So I think just having more opportunity to see others play it and see how they do it, I think it's super helpful. So that's what we're doing today. I'm going to regret it, but we're going to do it anyway. So let's do the tag. Oh, wait, I got to go back. Also, side note, these are the actual settings for this game mode. So there's our player settings. There is our ghost settings. And there is our contract settings. So some important things here. The breaker is broken. And I believe we have a 5-minute start. So let us see. I like how dots are an audio device all of a sudden. I mean, they make noise. They do make noise, but so does the EMF, right? Alyssa, thank you so much. Good to see you, friend. Thank you for all of the gifts. Mother of Bees. Valix, thank you for the 7 months. All right, we're good. Let me close these guys. You know what? I didn't want to click that anyway. That's right. Oh, boy. It's going to be spicy. What's up, Nelson? Hi, Lost. How are you? I can actually see messages over there now. Thank God. This was such a fun weekly. I mean, okay, you don't have to lie to us. I make noise in my audio equipment now? Yeah. You're in the map, right? When you play? Yeah. Make it small earthquakes and minor flooding. Sinkhole. Oh, Halen, stay safe, friend. Stay safe. Halloween update. We have no idea. Nope. I'm not going to find out any sooner than you guys. So being inside of the Phasmophobia Discord and following them on Twitter, Play Phasmo is the tag. That is the fastest you're going to find out when the updates are. When the console is, when the Halloween is. I'm not going to know any sooner than you. As of right now, I have no clue. This month. That's the only thing I can say is this month. So someone says this day, like what day? No idea. No clue. Okay. I think we're good. Hi, Lavender. How are you? 15th of October. How long should we? I know. Well, last year we had the update like the 26th for Halloween. So I don't know how close it's going to be to that. I don't know. I'm not sure. Kay, thank you for the 8 months. Need to get my levels back up. Cozy, my plan today is to do the weekly and then prestige, and then up until the update, spending time getting my levels back. So we're gonna floor it through. Hey Pixel, how are you? Boop, 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 boop. Hey Flash, this week's challenge was fun. Well, we're gonna dive into it too. Let's go. Valley, this will be my first Halloween update ever. I'm excited. Yeah, I'm excited too. I'm excited. The events that they have are awesome. They're really good. The last Halloween event that we had was super freaking cool. Being able to take all of the stuff and put it into, like, make a potion, and you collect the cards. We met Toe. Yeah, so much greatness. Ninja, how was your stream? Hello, welcome. Hi, Morgan. Hey, how are you? All right, let's mute the music. We're good to go. Ish. It's really quiet. I don't like it. Okay. Love the Easter event. I loved all the events. The events are so good. Thank you, Mother of Bees. Kaylee, welcome in. Tornuda, thank you for the 8 months. It got real quiet real fast. Yeah, I don't know. I don't like that. It's quite me either. I think the ghost is going to come to the truck. This is our equipment for this week. Obviously, we are missing some stuff. So we're going to have to use our ear holes on this one. Yep. The breaker's broken, so there's no point in looking for a breaker. You just start looking for Ghosty. So off to find Sandra. We'll take a flashlight. We don't have a thermo and we don't have an EMF and we don't have a UV. So spicy. I think we don't have smudges. We don't have crucifix. Our pets' heads are falling off. Man, I'm even not sure what I want to bring. You know what? I think this makes sense. We'll bring this. No crucifix is pain. Yeah, that's stinky. But you also, I mean, you do have the time. So you hear the tick. You have 5 minutes. You do have 5 minutes. Just immediately turning this on. Ding ding. I think what we do is we're going to pick a wing. Go down, shut all the doors, and just listen. And just listen. Okay. All right. I was like, is that me or was that the ghost? No, that was the ghost. How far down, though? I think it was further. I could be wrong. Ghosty. Ooh, we got whispers. Oh, you've got to be in this room? Come on, dude. Abigail, thank you for the raid. Welcome in. All right. Well, we found it. It's doing a bunch of stuff. We need to go check for EMF on the board. Do I leave you? Do I leave you? No, I'm going to take you. We're going to take you. How was your stream? How are you? Welcome in. How goes Faz? It's good. We just started the weekly. We found the ghosty. I just so happened to pick the correct direction to go, which I'm not upset about. Not going to be lucky like that every time, so I'm just going to use it for what it's worth. Hey, Senna, how are you? Completed the weekly and didn't die at all. Hey, let's go. How long did it take to do the weekly? Streamer luck. I'm not complaining. Hey, JS. All right, no EMF 5s. Look at our sanity. Our sanity's still rocking at 100, though. All right, we're going to take 2 books. We want to take this. This is instant evidence. I also have I have a sound sensor in there. So what we can do with that is listen for writing in case we come back to the truck. So that's useful. Hey, Jules, how are you? You know what? We're going to take 1 so I can see where I'm going. Because I also want you guys to be able to see too. Hour and a half? That's not bad. That's not bad. Not for this. Did you do it with others or was it solo? Really hope you get some obvious ghosties. Yeah, me too. That'd be nice. Our sanity's not draining very quickly though. So I think the chances of this being a Moroi are probably low. We would have dropped more sanity by now because I would have been cursed. We had a whisper. We had a whisper. I brought gift. Where are you? Are you near? Where are you? Are you here? Are you near? Are you close? Where are you? Are you here? Where are you? No, let's check. Where are you? Are you here? Are you near? Where are you? Are you here? Are you close? Are you near? Are you far? It's gotta be here. Where are you? Are you here? Are you near? Where are you? Are you here? Where are you? Are you here? Where are you? Where are you? Are you near? Okay. Chances of it being spirit box are very low. Very low. Let's get more stuff. Let's get more tings. Prestigious today for the first time. Already level 55. Nice. Think that's good? I mean, I guess it depends on how long it took you. Because if it took like, you know, like 15 hours to do, then I don't know. What would you define as it being good? The week earlier got a Rev and 2 mayors. Nice. There is no curse object, I know. Not in this one. Oh my. Oh my. We're getting spicy now, huh? Well, that's useless. Door touch. Leave a lurk. Thank you, Abigail. I appreciate it. You're cursed. I believe it. Hi, Michaela. All right, let's get some dots. We could track it with some motion sensors. I could do the poor man's Onryo test. No, I could do a real one. I just like this 3 times. Our sanity is at 96. So let's just say I don't have Spirit Box. Okay. As of now, I'd say we don't have EMF 5, but I don't know for sure. I don't want to mark that off right now. But if I did, this is what we'd be left with. Okay. Oh. There we go. So let's go back. This time I'm going to go Sans flashlight, I think. Slagathor, hello. It's a little dark when you don't have any light. We are doing the weekly, yeah. Hey, tutorial. How are you? I'm at like 95 sanity. So if it hunts us, well, we know the answer. Let me through. I think the 5-minute cooldown is gone. Is that a full shut door? You doing tings? Hey. Hey. Give me evidence, nerd. Brand new sentence. To the dark when you don't have any light. I meant the game is not providing you any light. Like, look at this. Look how dark that corner is. If you're sitting in a pitch black room, you can still see a little bit. Your eyes adjust. There's no adjusting here. That's a black hole. Ooh, there's one. All right. I'll bite. I'll bite. Use eye adaption. Pretty sure I do. Got one ghost, I guess. Got a Banshee Whale, Demon Hunt, and a Hantu. Ooh, spicy. Hey, Bree. There's 2. Might as well cancel it out. Why not? Yeah. Onryo's out of the question, but what if all of a sudden it hunts me? If it hunts me right now, I would... The chances of that are so small, but I would almost go Mimic. But I would still have Spirit Box with Mimic. Why do you keep doing stuff in the next room? Interesting. Ghost? Hello? Can it be twins? I mean, technically? Lots of door touchies, but we can't check for UV. It's not showing me dots right now anyway. It also threw objects in both rooms. It's probably not a shade. Okay. There's a third blowout. Hey, Derp. All right. Well, I'm going to take this back, okay? Do you want to give me dots? It's turning the crucifix over. It's not eventing, but it's active. It's doing a lot of stuff. But not a single event. Yeah, Crystal, that's weird. That is super weird. We're not trying to contact the... Hey, Caleb, how are you? Oh, around that guy, go around here, go right there. We'll check the board again and see if maybe we get a 5. Stop setting the alarm to snooze. I do what I want. It's my life. I'll do what I want. All right. Ooh, no, that doesn't look like a 5 because, what it looks like is, it looks like there might have been some runoff from the other EMF before it. It's not a clean fiber. It's not a clean. Could still be Goryo dots. Technically, yeah. Yeah, it could be. I want to watch this for a minute. Is there a camera that sees down the corridor? There is a camera that sees down the corridor. It's this one. But do you see how tough that would be? Unless, like, if I put dots in the hallway and it just so happened, because, like, I don't remember exactly what door it is, but I could take dots. Oh, okay, there. Okay. That's looking way better. Smiling Obake Jin? Zach, thank you for the 4 months. It just took a poopy in the sink. Asking you shall receive. Oh, can't check. That would at least remove. What's up, Eric? Okay. We're going to take the other book. We're going to take our flashlight. Take this. Just anything I can to narrow down what the ghost is. Now, one thing it definitely has not done. Well, no, the Jinn can't use its ability if the power's not on. Never mind. For a few maps, you can see if there's orbs in certain rooms. For Sunny, yes. For Sunny, there's a few rooms you can see if there's orbs, but not in the hallway. So unless I don't know, if the orb just so happens to peek its way into the hallway, yeah. Very unlikely. Hey, Dragon, thank you for the raid. How was your stream? Welcome in. Yeah, shade on high school. That sucks. All right, we're going to go back in. We're going to take another motion sensor so we can check out where it is. We're going to take the flashlight and the other book. This. Cool. Sparkle. Hi, friendo. Thank you for the 1 year. Oh, my Lanta. It was good, not great, but good. Well, I'm glad it was good, though. Thank you for the follow. Welcome in. Okay. So... maybe... What am I... Goo. This way we would know if it's in the room or out of the room. All right. It has not even touched the book yet. What if I take this? Put it here. I can see that from the camera. I mean, Goryo's not a possibility based on what we have so far, but, you know, just saying. Ghost, can you please interact with the book? My breath still in there? Some ghosts crawl when they hunt. Yes. There it is. Okay. But Ghosty, are you in here, though? Jesus. It's not, is it stuck? It's not walking out of the room. All right. We're going back. One book in the room and one book out. Yeah, it's not a bad idea. Ghosty said, I'm free. No, we go back to the truck. We go back to the truck. It's giving mixed signals. It is. Ding. Okay. What is our sanity now? The sanity drain is so slow. 88. Look at that. Oh, that's a clean AF EMF 5, which is great. Oh. See? There's a possibility that we could get lucky and see dots like this. If the ghost so happens to dot in the hallway or dot, like start its dot in the room and then end in the hallway, it's possible we could see it. The chances of it are pretty low, but it's definitely possible. Imagine. Even hearing the book get thrown would be useful because then we can check for writing. Well, technically, probably be able to hear it. You have one dot or two. I have one in there right now. When I go back in, I'll probably bring another. $5 days until your wedding? Oh my God. Nothing yet. There it is again. There what is again? Nothing? No, our patience is going to wear thin. Door touch. Well, yeah. Hi, Himawari. Reason Discord, can you join? Yeah. Should be in the description. Nothing. Okay. It's walking around, but it's not actually giving us any good information. So. Bong. All it's doing is walking in and out of the room. Okay. Type goes to the smell like stinky one. You know what? We don't need this. Give me this. We have a possible myling, right? Yeah. Possible myling, so it's going to talk to us a lot if it is. Hey, Foxling, how are you? We had stuff early. I don't know about now, though. Oh, son of a bitch. Your eyes off the table? Well, it's not doing full door shuts. Ooh, are we missing a book? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Oh, Zach, thank you for getting merch. Nope, there's 2 books in here, not just one. I had a second book in here. Where'd it go? Get that out of my face. Oh, there it is. Boom. Boom. No writing. It's a Jin or an Obake. So that's kind of unfortunate. I think it's a Jin or an Obake, which is really, really unfortunate. The only way I'm going to be able to get Obake is to see it shapeshift. Jin, there's nothing that's going to tell us it's a Jin. Nothing. Yes, Obake is forced UV, but when you don't have a UV light, it makes it a little difficult. The only way that I can know what this is by making it hunt and watching it. That's the only way. Yeah, the breaker's broken. I can't test for a Jin. Can't do it. What is our sanity even at? Cheat living spot? No. I'd rather not exploit the game. Oh, that is just awful. Okay. The only options here are hope that it events on me to drain my sanity or guess. Because what you can do is you can go in there and wait. And then as your sanity drains from being in the darkness, then it will hunt eventually. Yardy yar. So if I wanted to be less, if I wanted to be, if I want to do the challenge the least amount as possible, I would need to go in there and just sit in the dark. Yeah. Yeah. The only other thing would be getting lucky and seeing dots here. If I just so happen to catch dots in this hallway, that'd be the only other thing I could get right now. That's it. That is it. Ash, welcome in. How are you? Stupid clock. Yeah. It's trying to wake us up. Let the heart of the cards guide you and guess. It would save us time, but then we would have to do it again. Well, we were going to do it again and again anyway. The fear is that 50-50 shot, you know? That's the fear. 'Tis the fear. It's not a mare. The issue too is if I sit there long enough to where it can hunt, I need to watch it long enough to see if it blinks. Anywhere to loop? There might be hiding down the way. What if I get rid of this? Right now, I'm thinking Obake. Right now, that's my guess. If we're gonna just go for a guess and go for it, I'm gonna go Obake. I think that's what I'm gonna go for. I say we go for it. Might get lucky. No dots, not that I can see. The reason I'm saying, here's the reason I'm saying Obake, because it took a bit for me to see my breath, which is making me think it might not be freezing temps, which in that case would get rid of the Jin. We would have Obake. Okay. I'm going to go for it. It's either that or wait for this thing to hunt. And it hasn't evented on us a single time. Okay. Well, wish us luck. This one's a 50-50. Watch it be a completely different ghost. If I see dots right here, I'm going to be so mad. Oh, it was a Goryo. All right, what was I missing other than dots? Which it was not doing out in the hallway. Let's see. Look, there's no need for all that. EMF, ultraviolet, and dots. Yep. Yep. Wasn't even haunted. Nope, there was no ghost in there to begin with. Sag. Super Sag. That's okay. We go back. We go back. Why did I cancel out Goryo to begin with? Is it because we didn't have dots? Why did I say no Goryo? I don't remember. Take two. Yeah, that's all right. We go back. All right, let's try it again. Don't have UV, but I wouldn't have crossed out UV, though. I wouldn't have crossed it out because we can't get it. Change room? No. No, I don't know why Goryo was off my radar. We crossed off writing. I said none of those. We can't see orbs. We had EMF. I had this. Did I accident? No, because I didn't cross that off. I don't know. Because the dots, maybe. I mean, maybe I just thought we just didn't see dots, so we just pretended like we didn't have dots. That might have been what it was. Yeah. Alyssa, thank you, friendo. That's all right. We go back again. That's okay. Alrighty, let's give it another try. Let's give it a try, Trisha. I think sometimes on this we're going to get lucky and sometimes we're not. Let's try, you know what? We'll do this time. Let's try. All right. Reveal thyself. Thank you. That was awfully kind. Do I have a camera? Only in the hallways. That was convenient. Which door was it? Hey, are you in here? Hello? Where are you?
Taken away.
How are you? You're taken away. Oh, spirit box. Possibly freezing. Moroi, Onryo, twins, mimic. Okay. All right, I'll be back. You have fun. So if it's a Moroi, I'm going to be cursed. Hey, what's up, Benny? How'd you die? Taken away. Why'd I cross off mirror? Because I heard a light switch flip. And I hadn't turned on any lights yet, so the ghost did not turn off a light. It tried to turn on one. And even when the power's not working, the ghost, if it's a mare, cannot do that. That is a big... We'd had no event, so that's definitely a possible EMF 5. Okay, let's just say we have EMF 5 for a second. So we don't have to look for you. Writing is a possibility. Okay, is dots a possibility? It is. Oh, that's lovely. Well, isn't that just beautiful? Let's do 2 of you. Call you in the morning. That go there. There we go. Ash, welcome in. Appreciate you coming in. How are you? Round is this? This is round number 2. We got fooled by Goryo on round 1, which is okay. Luckily, you can see EMF 5 on the board, so I think we have it. We'll have to double check. Give us the evidence. Do the ting. Do it. Do it. A level? Right now I'm over level 100. Do the ting. Okay. All right. Hey, what's up, Em? We want dots or we want writing. That would be extremely helpful right now. Either or. I mean, come on, Flash. What am I supposed to do? We can say hi to it. Trisha! Trisha Maudsley. Do the tig. Trisha. Why'd you get all shy all of a sudden? Trisha. Trisha. You know what you do? Where are you?
Close to busting.
Not near me, you're not. Where are you? Are you near?
Not far from their home.
Where are you? Are you here?
Slips away.
Are you near? Where are you? Are you close? Are you near?
If I reach,
Where are you? Hi, Dread.
if I reach
Are you near?
from behind,
Where are you?
Close to busting.
Stop. Not in this room. It's small. Where are you?
if I reach,
Are you close?
get away.
Are you near?
Not far from their home.
Where are you?
Behind us.
Listen, dude. Can you do the ting? Where are you? It's close to what? Are you near?
Not far from them.
Okay. We're going to go get another dot and another book. I'll be back for you. Hi, Mr. Tater. How are you? Sorry. Bug. Got it. Asking if it's French doesn't do anything. How are you, Dread? How's your day? Let's get another book. Did I put the other... Wait. Swear to God. There's no camera over there, so that's not going to be helpful at all. The only thing that would be helpful... Don't have salt. Hearing it do something from further away, maybe. But that's about it. Where the hell's the other dot? Did I put the other dot in there, or do I only have one? Actually, I have two dots, right? There it is. We're going to wait on the motion sensor, I think. Yeah, I want to be able to see where I'm going. Pick both up. Yeah, I left it by the door. It's okay. Nick, thank you for the 4 months. Hello. How goes it, friend? Oh, God. Looking at chat. Sorry. Sorry. You son of a bitch. After I spent all that time, what'd you do with it? Where's the book, you nerd? Oh, it's right there. All right, no writing. Well, good to know, I guess. Let's put this one here. Not you. Wraither twins. Wraither twins from what I can see. Starry, thank you for getting merch. So now the problem is... Okay, what do we not have to worry about? Don't have to worry about you. We don't have to worry about you. Freezing or dots. So this would just be based on us not seeing the dots. So if we get dots, it's a wraith. If we don't, it's twins. Would motion help you find a wraith? No, because we don't have salt. That'd be cool if I could hear like a twin interaction. Like hear it do something from far away. That'd be sick. I don't know what direction that would be in. Okay. Oh, you had the twin curve. Oh, nice. That's a good point. Yeet. Oh, you know what I could do? Oh, that's actually true. You know what? We can go far, far away and take a motion sensor and see if it comes to us. Yep. F whatever that was. That's right. Because if it's a wraith, it'll come to us. Teleport? Teleport. So we know Ghosty is there. So we're going to go all the way down here where no other ghost would be. Hi, Bree. How are you? So we'll go in here. There's no shot any ghost would roam over here like this at this distance. Unless it's a stalking ghost or it teleports to you. No way. And a twin can't do that because the twin, it's an interaction. It's not the actual ghost. Does it have a max range? No. The Wraith can teleport to you from anywhere on the map. So if these go off, game on. So what it would do is it would teleport to me and then it would make its way back to its room. That's how that would work. Cheyenne, hello. Could also wait for the hunt. Well, again, we're hoping we don't have to wait that long. Yeah, when the Wraith teleports to you, it makes its way back to its room. Yep. So if we see those motion sensors go off, we know what it is. Can you use the firelight at the door? Firelight at the door? What do you mean? Ah, they're starting. I'm sorry. Hey, Cheese. How are you? What's up, Luke? They should have given EMF. It has audio. Kind of. That's what I said too. I was like, EMF has sounds. Unless it hunts and kills you first. Listen, if it wants to hunt and kill me, groovy. Then we know what it is. Stand outside of the map with a firelight at the door. Yeah, but you're then hoping that the ghost will blow out the firelight. This is a more foolproof way. Wraiths don't go through salt. This is very true. We don't have salt. Yeah. Hi, Faith. Yeah, we put the camera up a while ago because then I'm not blocking anything. Yeah. Listen, I think it was the other day that I had a phantom that was extraordinarily lazy. Extremely lazy. And waited a long time to stalk me. But I think we wait a few for this. And then we'll go to the truck and see if maybe we'll get a twin curve. Might get lucky. Right now, this is what we're looking at. But based on, let's say we don't have dots. If we don't have dots, then it's twins. Yeah. But we'll give it another minute and then I'll go. I'll give it one more minute and then we'll go to the truck. Tier 1 or tier 2 motion? Tier 2. As I leave, they go off, yeah. Or like it walks through it at the same time that I do. That'd be really, really mean. That'd be very, very cruel. Nothing so far, though. I think twins is looking better and better. If only we could make it hunt. If we could make it hunt, that would have been, this would have been snappy. Would have been snappy. But based on the power of deduction off of what we have, seeing EMF 5 and seeing, well, actually getting Spirit Box, right now we're thinking twins. All right. Let's make our way back. I'm going to listen, though. I want to listen. Nothing. How do you roll out ghost orbs? Solo, you can't. Playing with others, you can use the head cams. Miss Pro, hello. All right, let's go look at the truck for a few. Let's see if we can get a twin coive. You did, though? Oh, I did. No. Oh, so this is what you mean. I'm sorry. The reason I crossed out orbs is because none of the ghosts left actually can have it. So I'm just getting it out of my mind. I'm just getting rid of it. Yeah. Orbs, as of right now, based off of the ghosts that are left, they don't matter. Cool. I think it died again. Bunny, thank you for the 5 months. My sanity is at 86. Please. Do it. Please. All right. There's a thing. It's doing stuff. Okay. Now I need you to do it together. It's not dead. No, it just rolled over. That's all. Dwally, thank you for the 8 months. Hello. So what we're doing is we're hoping for a twin curve right now. That's our hope and our prayer. Is that Ghosty actually shows us something. Now, the one thing I don't know, I don't know if I ever even thought to investigate science, whatever, is, did that just like pause? When the twin has two interaction ranges, one and another. With its second interaction range that is further away, does it choose one set location for that? Or can that be literally anywhere? You know? Mr. Monk, hello. Hey, Logan, I'm good. How are you? We're just watching the board, hoping to get some information. I don't know the answer to that question. Where's Mike? I know. Just never thought about it. How to read EMF 5 on the activity screen? Like that. Like that. Did I hear the Galaxy Quest music? Yes, you did. 100%. Come on, Ghost. So to explain the twin curve, I've never heard of it till now. So the twins, as a ghost, it can do interactions in both locations at the same time or very close together. And when it does that, these are interactions, throws, all that jazz. So when it does one and then does another really close together because it's twins, the line will go up but then curve or go down, like, or you'll see it coming down. But that means it has to do twin interactions for you to see it. Twin interactions being interactions in both locations at the really close to the same time. But as of right now, it's just doing randomness. It's not actually doing both sides. I think the only other way that I could say twins would be if I go in there and we just listen in other directions and see if we can get it doing something in another location. That would be the only other way, which we might have to do just to keep it interesting. It's doing a lot of stuff. It's like the opposite direction for that Price is Right game. The one where you go up the yeah. It misses me. Yeah, we might have to go hang out. Might not have a choice. One second, Etch a Sketch. Twisting the knobs. All right, it's not giving me the curve right now. We need to go do things. You know what? Give me you. Cliffhangers. There you go. Can ghost to events when you're not on the map? No. Oh, hey, how are you? You certain it's not a Pulte? Based off of the evidence it's given us and what it's not given us, yeah. Okay. You're walking around here. Where's your twin? Come on. What if I just go stand in the room? So the twins wraith based on that. Yeah, and we're really thinking it's twins off of the fact that it never came to us. Was that next to me, you think? That did sound like a glass tank. Now, the other twin, it's one ghost. Wait a minute. Ah, that might have been through the wall. I feel like the other interaction was over here. But was it there or was it down here? If it's down here, then we can be pretty sold. Was that a double throw? Was it? If it was a double throw, I could go check the board. Run, Forrest, run. Going as fast as I can. I was running. All right. I don't know if I'd call that. That's not really a curve. It does. Although, I mean, that's not straight, though. That definitely goes dip, dip. That definitely does a dip. It's not a super obvious curve. It's not a super obvious one, but I feel like it's it. Looked a little curvy. It did look a little curvy. I wish I could look at this straight on. Good enough for you. It's curvier than you. Oh, sheesh. It's curvier than Tater. Run. Looked pointy. The other thing that I could do, you know what else I could do? Hold on. All right, hold on. Let's do stuff and things. Let's do stuff and things. Let's use our equip monk the way it should be used. So I'm going to put one of these in the room. And I'm going to go put one down the male hallway. See what we can find. Does that boat spawn like that? You're a busy little bee. What do the three positions do? It changes which direction it is or how it is. If it's radial, if it's pointing in one direction, that kind of stuff. Tyson, hello. I'm good. How are you? Good to see you. Couldn't you stand in the building and listen to throws? I mean, yeah, but that's really difficult to do, to be able to hear all that. Look, a lot of throws, a lot of stuff, but nothing that we need. But if we take these two, but look how slow. I mean, I just keep going in the dark and draining our sanity. It takes forever, but doing something at least, right? With the paramic? Yeah, but what if I'm listening in the wrong direction? I'm never going to hear the other one. That's the problem. That sounds close. Like, they're close. Ooh, or over here. Okay. Let's put you there. Finish your dinner. Nice. How's your ice cream? So we'll take this one. Put this one over here. Hey, Jocelyn. How are you? Just don't listen the wrong way. Roger that. There is no salt. No, trust me. That we would have done this. We would have done that quite a long time ago. There is no salt. But I mean, technically, salt absolutely makes sound. So that makes no sense. Okay, still no twinage. Alright. Ghosty is in its near its room. Because we can use motion sensors as well to track where it is. Was it close enough to that? Look at all the activity. Good grief. Still no curve though. You notice that? Are they max radius? I don't want them to be max radius. No, I want them separated. Okay, I'm going back in. The little room with the locker? Maybe. No, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put this one in between. Because I think what's happening, and I could be completely wrong, I think it's twins, and the other twin is over here. But we'll know that based off of this. Mr. Chingus, hello. We're having a battle, Mr. Chingus. We're having a battle. It's going to be a 5-hour game mode. Trouble is he? No, he is not. Still nothing. All right, that was that one that just went off. That one just went off. Percy, thank you for the 14. I'm watching all the things. Look at that random ass spike. What the? What are you doing, dude? I'm watching the motion sensors. So, Mr. Chingus, what we're thinking is that we have twins. Unfortunately, I have yet to see a curve, which is sad. I mean, So I think what's happening is I think our ghost is here. And I think the twin location that it keeps going to or throwing shit in is here. Ooh, but look at it though. It's walking out to that area. That's why it makes it so dicey. Because it just walked back out over to that area in the front. It's going back. Okay, it's probably back in the room now. Would love to see one of the other ones go off. Curve? Yeah, we're pretty sure we saw a twin curve. It's not a very obvious one, but pretty sure we saw it. And and it's dead again. The ghost died again. Hear that door touch? Little EMF go off. Yeah, it looked like a curve to me too. I would love to hear a throw or something really far away from it though. Hey, Tactical, I'm good. How are you? 2 going off at the same time would be wonderful too. Is a curve indicator for twins? Yes. If it decides to do it. If it decides to cooperate. It's very subtle, yeah. It went from... Okay. That was just 2 interactions close together. No, you don't. No, you don't gain sanity in the truck. Okay, it walked back into the room. Come on. Do something at this one. Come on. You've been there. You're in your room though, so you shouldn't be able to reach that. It's just giving up. It's completely dead. Come on. We tried to do a rate test by seeing if it would teleport. So we went all the way to the end of the female wing and it never came to us. Not a single time. Okay. I think that was the twin. Because it's in its room right now. This just had something get thrown in it. We should see that motion sensor go off next. We should see the top motion sensor go off. If it leaves the room. Come on. We know you wanna. Smart way to work it out. We're trying. We are trying. But every time we want the ghost to do something, it gives up. That was the door touch over here. It threw something here, and we had a door touch here, and we haven't had the motion sensors go off yet. All right, we're gonna go twins. We're gonna go twins. If we're wrong again, we'll just cry. Come on, please set them. You can just set the top motion sensor off. Come on. You aren't 100% done. No, I'm not. Which is why I want that top to go off. When in doubt, cry it out. Okay. The ghost has given up. The only other thing would just be spending the time just sitting there draining our sanity. You know who'd know how to do this? Tater. There's the courtyard again. Which is this right there. Dude, it's literally sitting still now. Door touches, random glass throw. That's all I'm getting. That's it. Spirit, think of the 17 months. Okay. I think we just got it right there. Did you see that? I'm pretty sure what we just had was it do something here and here almost back to back. And it set that one off. Okay, cool. There we go. Let's go for it. Saw it? Yeah. Yeah, so it set one off. It threw something here and threw something there, and it was still over in that front area. Well, still over in its room, which is how we knew it was the twins. The only curve that we saw like one curve, and it was so subtle. Sometimes you can get them and they go like an actual curve and it's crazy looking, but we did not get that, unfortunately. But we did get the ghost right, which is great. Okay, now let's do it again. Oh, man. Oh, man. It's the learning curve. I get it. I'm picking up what you're putting down. All right, new intel. Yeah. All right, give me you. Give me you. You. Let's go. Let's go. Hey, what's up, boss? How are you? From the top. Ad break inside, drain the sandy. Yeah, that's the move. Roger that. All right, ghost is down here. How many times have we gotten it? This is technically the third run. All right, are you... Creepy. Not a mare. Was it that chair? Where are you? Are you near? Oh, there's our breaths. Yeah, this is it. Where are you? Are you near? Are you here? Where are you? Are you close? Are you near? Are you far? Where are you? Are you here? Are you near? Where are you? Good. Do stuff without me in the room. And then do nothing when I'm in the room because we know you're a shade, even though you're... never mind. The paramedic did lie before and said it was downstairs. Yeah, but I don't know. We think I might have been standing on something, which was really strange. Danny, thank you for the 2 months. Hello. Ghosty. Boss, thank you, friend. We have our breath in there. Why did all of a sudden just give up? Ghosty. Try to do some deduction if it wants to actually cooperate. Hello? Paul Pettit. Paul. Paul Pettit, Paul Pettit, Paul Pettit, Paul Pettit, Paul Pettit. Paul Pettit, Paul Pettit, Paul Pettit, Paul Pettit. Paul. You suck, Paul. All right, I'm leaving, Paul. Okay. You're so cool, Paul. Couldn't tell. It seemed like that was like in the hallway with me. It was weird. leave that there. Huh. 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 Hi, Jana. Boss, thank you, friends. Thank you for the gifts. Leave a lurky while I get the rest. No worries, Danny. I appreciate you. Thank you for the sub. Tell me not to leave him? Well, listen. I was asking for him and he gave me nothing. So, he's a turd. You. Get you. Get you. I still have a minute 45. Run. All right. I think I'm going to try to do this in the dark. So I can just get more done. Just stick to your walls. Know what you're looking at. Good idea of where you are. Bottom of the stairs. Okay. Stick to my left. There's a chair here. I mean, there's a bookcase. Yeah, there's the chair. The wall. Get through the first one. There's the gurney thing. There's the other chair. This will take us to here. And then we're at the ghosty room. Set up time OP. No, I don't want it. Hello? Paul? Paul? You want to be a Dots Ghost, Paul? Oh. Ooh. Probably not you, eh? Roger Dodger. You're lucky I don't know where I put the spirit box down, or else I'd give you a chat. I always love that because it doesn't actually move. What do I do with it? Where is it? Just spam the outside of here. Where is it? There it is. Where are you? Are you near? Where are you? Are you close? Are you near? Are you far? Where are you? Are you here? Are you near? Where are you? Do you lose sanity and setup time? Yes, you do. Rev Demon Myling Thay. A. Oh, I'm stuck. Go past the chair. Good grief. How many chairs are there? Now, it was pretty vocal. Could be a Myling. Not Demon, you think? I haven't had a single event yet. This entire time. Not one. Not one single event. Is there a reason the ghosts haven't hunted while I'm in there? Yeah, my sanity hasn't been low enough. Absolutely. Oh, let's see. Okay. I'm going to bring 2 of these. We're going to bring a flashlight down there. That's probably not useful. That looks like a 5. Which would make it a Myling. Based off of the deduction of what we had and how active, how vocal the ghost is, the Myling evidence would be EMF, ultraviolet, and ghost writing. I can't get this. I don't have one of these, but that definitely looks like it. And we have writing. And if we look at the ghosts that are left or a shade and it wrote while we were in it, Myling. Send it.
Welcome back. I've got some jobs ready for you.
Did I mention I hate this game? Wrote while I was in the... Yeah. Mother... All right, moving on. Next. Didn't happen. Nope, never happened. Shades of the worst. They've been really interesting lately. Could it have been in a separate space? Yes, it could have been.
We've arrived. Check the equipment.
Damn it.
Get set up before
HL, hello.
investigating.
Mylings are vocal. Yes, Mylings are way more vocal. Yeah. Yeah. Now, we did have a time in Point Hope where we had a shade try to hunt us on a floor where we had somebody in the room and somebody in the hallway, and the shade tried to hunt us. So that was interesting. Yeah. But anyway, moving on. All right, let's see Lucy. So we need you. I want you. We want you. Give me all the evidence. Give me all the things. Give me all the things. Whoa, I was laggy a little bit there. Whoa, are we okay? Is it snowing outside? It is. Damn. Sag. Sag. All right. Dude, what has happened? Is the game freaking out or what? Everything else is fine. What is going on? Are you okay? Faz, are you freaking out? Let's go check this area. Lag. I had it for like a second. It was weird. You see that happening randomly? Just started. Ghosties are messing up the entire game. Found you. Is that this room? Correct. Where are you?
Slips away.
All right. You know what? Here, let's give it another try. Oh my God. Where are you?
Ain't close to it.
Are you near?
I'm behind.
Where are you?
Here at
Are
the
you near? Are you close? Are you near? Where are you? Oh my God. My game's freaking out. An event? Where are you?
taken away.
Are you near? Where are you? Are you near? Where are you? Are you near? I messed up. I should have ran into it. Where are you? Are you near? Are you close? Are you here? Are you near? Are you far? Trying for the DO response. Where are you? Are you near? Where are you? Where are you?
Slips away.
Yeah, right. We tried. We tried. Actually, here, let's put this back over there. All right, back to the truck. Back to the truck. Did you hear the F word? No, you didn't hear the F word. You didn't hear the F word. Nobody says it in the spirit box. Hush. What was the DO response? The DO response is like an angry growl. Yeah. Hey, Diesel, how are you? Jana, thank you so much for the gifts, friend. All right. Let's see what our sanity looks like. I did not run into the ghosty. Did not. Probably not a Moroi. Very, very unlikely. Cooked eggs. Think of the 13 months. Hello. All right. More stuff, more things. But yeah, I'm randomly getting it. Randomly getting it. I don't know why. Because nothing is running heavy on my computer right now. Which is the weird part. Interesting. Okay, moving on. You. Can we get you in a minute? Angel, thank you for the 12. Queen, thank you for the 5. Appreciate you guys. Takes forever for the ghost to hunt. Yeah. Sanity drain is very slow in this one. I'm not even near the spirit box, guys. Please. How dare. Let's do that. Let's do one of those. Another singing event, huh? Interesting. Hey, thank you. That's a drop in sanity. Yes, it is. Dude, my game is freaking the... Like, every time I turn... Maybe Banshee? Maybe. Maybe not. I have Spirit Box to know it can't be a Banshee. The only thing it could be would be a mimic mimicking a Banshee. You also had heavy FPS. See, that is interesting. Hey, Luffy, how are you? Well, the hunts? Well, they've been interesting. When I put this video out, I'm probably just going to include the successful ones so that the video is not 4 hours long. We had a couple of stinkers that were like 50-50 shots, and it didn't go in our favor. Pretty sure we had a shade right in the room with us in the room, so that was cool. I think. It may have been outside the room, to be fair to the ghost. We're not getting writing. We're not getting dots. It's evented twice, which is super great. Haley, welcome in. This is the weekly, yes. You're not going to give me anything, any of this other shit, are you? How come you haven't heard my voice in the Spirit Box yet? It's just by chance. Just by chance. Here, see if we can get it now. Where are you? Are you here?
Far from
Are you near? Where are you?
Slips away.
Are you here?
Slips away.
Where are you? Where are you? Where are you?
far from
Where are you?
far
Where are you?
Hold it here and
Where are you? Where are you? Where are you?
slips away.
Where are you?
far
Where are you?
the far
Where are you?
the far
God damn it. Where are you?
far from the
Where are you? How are you far?
I'm far from the
How? I'm in the room with you. Where are you? Oh, wow. Oh, hey. Oh, you're trying to give us some private time? Oh, where are you? Where are you?
Taken away.
No, stop taking a wee. Dude, this is... Oof. Infinity, thank you for the tier 1. Welcome in. Hello. Man. Not today. Love to hear the ghostwriting book. Nothing. More whispers. Door touch. Nothing useful. The only thing that could be useful would be if we had an EMF 5. That would be the only thing that would be useful. Thank you for the follow. Welcome in. Back in a few. Gotta let the dogs out. Appreciate you. You were blessed in your last attempt. You got a Banshee whale. Oh, man. We're not that fortunate. No, we're not that fortunate. My goodness. Yeah, eggs. Yeah, it is. It is indeed. That's still, even after all that, 80. Holy crap. Holy crap. Oh, Phantom's a possibility. I mean, we'll bring the camera in. I mean, what if it events again and it disappears? That'd be pretty sick. Saw someone get Hantu twice in a row today. Oh my god. Yeah, but dude, you'd have to wait for it to hunt at that point. Woof. No evidence and it takes forever to get hunted. Eat an onion to scare it? I could. This is true. I'm getting awfully sus of a possible phantom. Where are you? Are you here? Are you near?
Taken away.
Oh, no, you're not. Where are you? Where are you?
Close to it.
Where are you?
Taken away.
Are you here?
Get close and
Are you near?
That's from behind.
Where are you?
Get away.
Where are you? Are you near?
The far
Where are you?
taken away.
Stop. Where are you?
not far from the
God damn it. Show up so I can take a photo and I can leave. Hey, what's up, goat? We've had no dots. It hasn't interacted with the book. Ghost, hello? Can you ring your rosies in like somewhere in the corner? Hello? Lucy? Lucy? But the dots better on the wall or the floor? I think it depends on where you are. If it's a smaller place, I think the wall is more effective. If it's a large space, floor is probably good because that's only going to go so far. Oh, ghost. You're such a ghost. Where are you? Are you near? Where are you?
Taken away.
Are you near? This one's going to be all about how to use the spirit box. Where are you? Are you near?
in a way.
Can you be taken a near? Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Are you near?
The thought reach.
Where are you? Where are you?
The far reach.
Are you near?
Taken away.
That doesn't even make sense. Where are you? Are you near?
Slipped away.
Are you close?
It's far and wide.
Are you near?
Was taken away.
Where are you? Where are you? Like, every part of this room is it's taken away. Where are you? Are you here? Are you near?
Was taken away.
That, okay, sure. Where are you? Some bullshit. Bullshit. IRL sanity, -12. Ghost, please. Please. Only -12? Yeah, for now. It's up my butt? Yeah, maybe. It's not interacting with the book. It's not dots. We have no idea if it's orbs. It's taken away everywhere. Where are you? Where are you?
The far reach.
Are you close? Are you near? Where are you? Are you close? Are you near? Where are you? Are you close? Are you near? Where are you? Are you close? Are you near? Where are you? Are you near? Where are you?
It's far and wide.
Where are you? What the? Piece of shit. Why are you over there? It's apologizing for taking a wee. It's so back and forth, man. Where are you? Are you near? Where are you? Are you near? Where are you? Are you close? Where are you? Are you near? Where are you?
Away.
Dude, this ghost. All right, we're leaving. At least going to the truck for a second. Holy shit. Apparently that entire room with the ghost in it, it's just taken away. Why do I keep asking questions? To see how close I am to the ghost, because you can actually know if you're standing on top of it or not based off of the response it gives you. Yeah. So it's saying taken away means that it's away from me. So I was trying to get it to say right here or anything similar to that at all. And it's not. No EMF 5s. Sanity has gone down basically nothing. I'm just doing this just for my own sanity. Just wants to be mean. No, it just wants me to take 4 hours to do this. That's all. Yeah, we know you like the door, you jerk. But what do we know? Literally nothing. We have Spirit Box. It is not giving us dots. It's not even interacting with the book. That's part of the problem. It's not interacting with it. Mr. Glay! What up, Glay? Is that the tone? These ghosts are setting the tone, Glay. It's not good. It's not good. Oh, cool. Light switch again. How neat. Oh, look. A door touch. Wow. You piece of trash. 70. All right. We're going back in with these. I need it to interact with the book. I need it. Probably not a Moroi. No, no shot. If this was a Moroi, my sanity would be tanked. Because we have no pills. So I can't increase my sanity in any way. And I would have been cursed this whole time. Imagine if it wrote set the tone. Man, this weekly does suck. That's for sure. Hey, Jessica, how are you? Pretty sure I dropped the photo camera back at the front door, which is okay. It's rough. It's just so slow to get everything. Where are you?
Taken away.
Where are you? Are you here? Are you near? Where are you? Are you close? It's got to be in there somewhere. Where are you?
It's far and wide.
Where are you?
The far reach.
Where are you?
The far reach.
Where are you?
Sounds far from their home.
Where are you?
Sounds far from their home.
Where are you?
Sounds far from their home.
Where are you?
Good here in the
I really hate you, Ghost. You know that? You and your wheel of cheese. As it finally gave us something. It's obviously right there. That big moldy chunk of cheese there. Please interact with the book. Please. That's not the book. That's the poo bucket. Give me all your things. I'm taking your stuff. Is there anything else I can pick up here? Oh my God, there's so many poo buckets. There's so many. Yeah. So we can't have anything nice. All right. We're trying to take everything out of the room. Oh my God. That should have dropped us another 10. I should be at like 60 now. Yeah, she laughed at us. What a jerk. You see where she was, though? She was like inside of that thing. Mine. Pot ghost. Would have been a good photo opportunity. Yeah. I figure, though, if it does hunt, I'll run away from it, hopefully, and be able to see it. Ew. Okay. Group. Oh, yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, door. Yeah. Would love for you to interact with the book. You're interacting with this stuff over there, but you're not interacting with that. Do you want it closer to your pot? Ooh. Can't see it right now. Hold on. Fuck. I don't think that's a phantom. I gotta guess. Spirit? Butthole spirit, maybe? Mare? No, it can't be a mare, right? It flipped the switch. It can't be a yokai. I don't think so. We're gonna go butthole spirit. I'm gonna go butthole spirit. We'll see what happens. Could be wrong. Onryo. Sag.
Some jobs ready for you.
Sag. What was the evidence for the Onryo? Spirit box, orbs, and freezing. Yep. Could only get one of them, couldn't get the other two. Definitely a ghost. Yeah. Dude, we're going to spend all stream trying to get this. Shit. Sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you don't. Hi, Cherry. It looks like we'll be here longer than expected. I think so. Yeah, we have one. Yeah, we have one. We just gotta pray that we can get lucky and get quick ghosties. All right, let's go back.
We've arrived. Check the equipment and get set up before investigating. There's been no reports of sightings, but
Oh, for ads. No, I'm okay for another. I'm okay for a few. We're okay for at least another 13 minutes for now. I'm gonna try. You'd have to firelight test the Onryo, right? Yes. Yes. Yep. It was snowing. Should have been a giveaway. Oh, okay. That's how that works. Should have tested the matches. No, I have firelights. It's just us testing for an Onryo. But we were thinking that it wasn't an Onryo. That's all. Yeah. Yeah. That's okay. We'll figure it out. We're just having bad luck. That's all. It'll turn around. We'll be fine. It's fine. All right. Let's go again. Let's go you. Let's go you. Let's go you. So I can get spirit box and it can tell me that it's taken a wee. At least it's not snowing. Plus. Hey, Ghost, you want to tell me where you are immediately? That'd be super cool. We're gonna go this way. We'll try our luck. Right now, just trying to find out where it is. Well, it gave me double of the same sound. Nothing so far. Hey, Tomas, what's up? There it is again. The nice thing about the tier 3 is that we can hear upstairs and downstairs. So we'll make our way over this way. Still, everything so far we've heard has been ambient. All of that is ambient. No. All that's ambient sound. Come on, Ghosty. Tell me where you are. Hey, Siraj. No, never heard of it before. Do all the doors start shut on this one? If they do, I guess I didn't realize that. Yes? Ooh, okay. Good to know. Yeah, there you go. Good call. Was that door? Wait a minute. Hold on. Where are you? Are you near? Where are you? Where are you? Are you near? Where are you? Are you close? Are you near? Where are you? So I have breath in here, so that means this is Ghosty Room. I think it's interacting through the wall right now. So let's go get more stuff. Luckily, we're not that far. Do I know who Insum is? Yes, I'm very well aware who Insum is. Where are they? Ba-ding! All right, we'll get dots. We'll get book. Hopefully it gives us evidence. Please, please give us evidence. Hey, Fi, how are you? Get that. We still have a setup timer, which is groovy. I'll take this guy and go. Do I know Flashes? No, never heard of him. Mayor, listen. The joke's going to get old. Think you have a camera on that corridor that sees that door? Do I? That's for you. And no, this is a really shitty room. Oh, I saw you. Holy moly, we got dots. Holy mackerel. Where are you? All right, let's wait till we see dots again. And it's a child. Oh, God. Where are you? Are you near? Where are you? We can take a photo of it, too. Where are you? Are you near? That was interesting. That sort of looked like it came directly at me. We'll see. Interesting. You know, a banshee whale would be really neat. Hey, Rose. You don't happen to know what a banshee wail sounds like, do ya? Rose? Rose? Hasn't whispered one time, though, which is unfortunate. Not you, Minty. There's a whisper. There's a whisper. It hasn't interacted with the writing book yet. I could turn off the dots to increase the chance of that happening. It said, go away. All right. What's the metal thing? What? It's metal again, but what? Yeah, it's fine. What am I hearing that you're interacting with that's metal? Is it a tray? It's Tilting the Weekly, yeah. Oh, there it is. Yeah, it is a tray. Yeah, we definitely are. Ghosties have been buttheads. Trying to take away all of its toys. You just threw something over here and I heard it. Oh. Pfft. All right, go ahead. We'll wait. Hey, Nikki, how are you? As it throws things, we'll take them away. I can go get another book, though. I just want to be able to cross it off. Without a second person, you lose the possibility to look for orbs. Yeah. Yeah, with multiple people, it's going to be easier. I would highly recommend you do this with somebody else. All right. We're not waiting anymore. Now, if it is a banshee, it could stalk us over to the front. If it so chose. Just in case. All of a sudden it does something at the foyer. Well, that would be a pretty good sign. Okay. Let's get another book. Let's get... Without the spirit box, Phantom would be out of the question. Goryo is out of the question because we saw that in person. I'm not seeing EMF 5 yet, but I don't know. I know, Racky. I'm aware. We should blend demonology spookiness with the polished gameplay of Faz. There's a game that really dropped something. Oh my, what the hell was that? You good? Damn. All right. Activity board looks like it's flipping me off because it is. This way, when we come back, we'll check. But for now, hold on a second. Hold on. Did I just see my breath? That was interesting. I thought I saw my breath. Oh, did you? I don't know. Did you? No, Ms. Pro, I can get 3 evidence. I can get 3. Listen, dude. Do the ting. I gave you 2 coloring books. No. He should have brought friends. Yeah. I'm too stubborn, though. It's too late. I'm too stubborn. Forgot the pen. No, I didn't. It's right there. Okay. Was that behind me? All right. I'll hang out in the room with you just in case you are stalking so that you'll stay here. It wants the tray. I'm hungry. I want food. Wants crayons. What's this look like? An insane asylum? We're on a budget, okay? All I could offer were these Bic pens. Ghost, will you please interact with the books? That's that. Nope. You just walked at me again. Okay. Wow, so cool. Time to get some sleep. Oh, I hope your headache feels better. It's interacting with everything under the sun except for these. What if I stand on them? Will that make you do it? They grow up so fast. Oh my goodness, Ghost, will you please? Ghosty. There's nothing else to interact with in here. What if I turn that off? Will that help you? All these ghosts. I don't know, man. I figured it would just eventually choose to interact with the book at some point. Good gravy. Pterodactyl, hello. No, please. No, go over there. Yeah, no. You do you, boo-boo. Hey, thank you for the dono. Appreciate you. I couldn't see who it was right now. Okay. Don't anger it? I kind of want to anger it. It's going over there and interacting with that door. Either going over there or it's just doing it through the wall. Oh, look, a singing event. You're so cool. Listen, if you don't write in the book... Okay, listen. Do you just keep showing me that there's more things in that room that I haven't taken from you? Okay, thank you for the bits. It keeps throwing things on the floor like, here. What about that one? Did you take that one yet? It will not interact with these books. Come on, man. All right. Let's assume you're a banshee. Then we're going to go all the way over here. Now it whispers? Okay. Hey, what's up, Hannah? It went outside to mess with the tray. Ghost isn't having it. I'm not having it. VIP for a month thing. Still redeem. That's good to use. Yeah. I mean, if you want to be VIP for a month, yeah. Hey, Ghosty. How are you? So coming over here. It's a rough one. Yeah, the ghosties suck. See the journal for a moment? Sure. I can't cross this off because it's not interacting with it. We've sat there with it. We've moved the books, kept it literally under its toes. Not messing with it. I'd say probably not a Ure because not a single slam. It's still over there. Check the board. Might have a fight. Yeah, maybe. It's worth a look. If it's doing stuff, there's a possibility of it. We might as well go check since it's not giving us anything else. Sitting here for 15 years. Nope. Hey, my sanity's at 59. It's only taken like 3 hours. That's cool. Let's say it's not that. That'd be Banshee Ure thing. I mean, Banshee's still on the table. It is still there. Check the camera in that area. I don't see, but then it goes and does shit like that. Nah, no. I don't think so. So the camera in that area, I don't know if there is a camera in. There is no camera in that area. Look. Closest thing to that area would be this outside camera. There's no camera over there. See these going down the hallway? That's the closest you got. And the room itself is over that way. It's flipping me off upside down. Yeah. A little bit. Yeah, there ain't no camera there. Oh. Maybe it messed with the book while we were away. You know? It did. Where is it? Not writing. Okay. So it got rid of the Fae. Raiju, Ure, Oni. Banshee's still a possibility. Really thinking it's not a Banshee because it does not feel like it stalked us. It really does not. I'm going to go get one of those motion sensors though and put it at the door of the chapel. Hasn't hissed? No. Now, if it hunts, hear the speed change, that'd be lovely. Throw a microphone in there. I have one over there. Yeah, I have electronics over there. So if it hunts, we'll be able to test the speed with a Raiju. Turning off the dots was probably a good thing, because if it hunted in dot state and we got that bug, well, then we wouldn't be able to see the ghost. But here we can loop it and see if it's an Oni. Even if it gets us, we'll be able to watch it. Jesus Christ. Not good. That was that one, right? Through the other book? Man God, thank you for the 8 months. Come on. Yeah, for this one, I'm only going to include the ones that were successful. It'll save time. Hi, Irish. The ghosties are good. Irish, I saw your DM, friend. I saw it right before I went live. I'll make sure to get back to you. Lots of whispers. It has not, like, stalked us to come into this room, though. Has not. The ghosties are assholes. I mean, this is true. No, it's the issue of the sanity drain. The sanity drain is the biggest problem. I don't want it to event in here because I want it to be near the electronics over there. Although at this point, I'll take anything. We have to be near hunting, right? Right? Maybe? What? Why? Oh, you're attending service. Oh, okay. Yeah, me too. Okay. That's an Oni, right? Oh yeah, that's an Oni. Look at you, you little cretin. You know what? I'm speeding this up. Just take me. Yeah. Then I don't have to go back to the truck. It's way faster. What is our Oni evidence? EMF freezing in dots. EMF freezing in dots. Oh, little Oni-chan.
Job's ready for you.
No, that's Patrick. Oh boy, we got it though. Okay. Last one. One more. Literally taking the entire stream. That's how bad the ghost has been. That was a lazy Oni. I know. I mean, listen, and it's supposed to be eventing even more. That's the problem. It's supposed to event even more.
There have been new reports of a cursed object nearby.
All right, let's go. Let's go. Speed run. This is going to be a speed run. This one's going to show us exactly what it is immediately. 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 Yes, I absolutely can, Phoenix. Yeah, I'm on it. Thank you, friend. Thank you, thank you. Well, the problem with a demon is that I still have to wait 5 minutes for it to hunt. That's the issue. Hey, there you go, Halen. Yeah, now matches. I got you. All right. Let's go down, pick a direction, and go. Oh. Pick a direction and go. Just give us a banshee whale, you know? That'd be cool. That'd be, goddamn it. That'd be neat. That'd be neat. Nothing so far. Okay, we go back. What's up, Elliot? We go back. Yeah, with this weekly, definitely more beneficial. Definitely more beneficial to do with others. Did I just hear something as I was talking? Of course it is. Son of a bitch. Oh, you stinker. Did you make a poopy? That's a yes. Where are you? Are you near? Where are you? Are you close? Are you near? Where are you? Are you here? Are you near? Where are you? Are you here? Are you near? Are you far? Where are you? Are you here? Are you near? Where are you? Are you here? Are you near? Are you far? Okay, probably not. Where are you? Where the drugs going? It's cooking. I'll do one more check just in case. Where are you? Are you here? Are you near? Are you close? Are you far? Where are you? All right, the odds of that being Spirit Box are very slim. Very slim. Okay. Let's go all the way back. No, we'll go this way. Let's go all the way back. But if we go ahead and cross that off, that's the ghosties we have. So we need to go get the book. We need to go get the dots. And I think what I'm going to do... is leave that there. There's a gurney here. Past the gurney, dodge the bookcase, go through the doorway. And then on our left is the exit. There we go. Any fibers by chance? That'd be super cool. All right. Taking advantage of these extra flashlights so we can see where we're going and carry more things. Put that there. Gives us a sight line for when we round the corner. Take another one. Oh, the challenge, yeah. See the flashlight there? Sight line. What I could also do is I could do this and set this one here. Like this. What I might do though is I might take this other one that's over here past the gurney and stuff. And use that one for now. Then we'll come back and get the other one maybe. If it's necessary. Okay. So Ghosty's all the way back in the kitchen. Juan, thank you for the 8 months. Welcome back. Hey, how are ya? Ghosty's still doing stuff. It's a CJ. Hi, CJ. Oh, you're here. Okay. There's a lot of stuff to interact with here. Hopefully it choose the right things. I'm good, Fear. How are you? I have to reset my game after this because it's just all of a sudden gotten laggy for no reason. Chilly night. Well, I can see my breath, yeah. Okay. There's a lot of things to interact with. I don't know what can be picked up and what can't, but... Look. When he goes to the left. One more. One more. All right. What we're going to do, we're not going to sit here and watch and wait. We're going to go get more stuff. Hey, Elliot, welcome in. Lethal Company or content warning? Lethal Company. Definitely Lethal Company. It's a game that has lasted, in my opinion, way longer than content warning. If you're able to get them both, sure. But if you can only pick one, Lethal. 100%. Kitchen's a huge area. It is a huge area, but it's back in that room. Well, around a game, yeah. And the mods, the mod community for it and the mods that you can get for it are so much better. Just as a group experience, it's just all out better, in my opinion. All right. So far, all that we know is that it was not giving us Spirit Box. Although, you know what we do have? Where is it? We have that. What if it just so happens to be orbs and it goes by that door? Ooh, that would be really nice. The ghost room is there. That's the ghost room. Wait, am I looking at that right? Wait, maybe not. Hold on. Is that right? Yeah, because you walk in this way, you go over here. That's the ghost room. You're kind of luck. I doubt it. I can't cross off orbs because if they're buried in the back of that room somewhere. Love Lethal. Yeah, me too. Yeah, me too. If you place 3 candles in front of a video camera, will an Onryo blow them all out and start the hunt with you watching from the van? No, because the ghost can't hunt without anybody in the building. Did you see orbs? Did you? Oh, I see it. Oh, I see it. Oh, you beautiful bastard. All right, great. Let's go. Oh my God, that actually worked. Beautiful. All right, I'm not going to worry about you right now. I'm going to worry about getting more stuff in there. I told you that kind of luck. Oh, thank God. The Phasmo weeklies have mercy. They have mercy. Oh, thank the heavens. Most of the cameras in here, you can't see orbs because you're not going to get orbs in the hallway. But there's a few that you can. You can see it in the foyer. You can see it in the kitchen. You can see it out in the courtyard. but we at least have a guaranteed piece of evidence, which is nice. Can you tell what the ghost is by it looks? No. Not unless it's a Obake. Ooh, is our book missing? Not unless it's an Obake that shapeshifts. Then you can tell. Okay. Then you can tell what it is by how it looks. Maybe we try. Goo. All right. Where's my book, homie? What did it do with the book? Up another poopy. Touch it like you wanted it. Oh, but I want to be able to. It threw these. Wait. No, okay. See, it also threw those too. All right. What did you do with the book? Dude? I'm like, oh, there it is. All right. And we can cross that off. These are what we're left with. There's also the... Oh. I should get dots. Ooh, okay. We should have dots. You know what? I'm gonna do it like this. It's over here somewhere. Stop it. Or a mimic. Technically, it could be. All right. For a bit of safety here, because of how close we are to maybe getting this one, we're going to go back to the vehicle. Like I said, the mercy of the Phasmo gods. Starburst, hello, how are you? How's the night? It's better. It's better now than what it was. Ghost doing an ability right in our face is pretty nice. Yeah, mercy through a Yurei out of all the ghosts. Yeah. All right. Give us dots so we can just know exactly what it is. Oh, Mr. Rafa, 1,886 days. Holy shite. When you put it like that. Oh, you beautiful bastard. That was a Yurei ability followed by dots. Oh, take us home. Take us home. Oh, that camera came in clutch. That camera came in clutch. Oh, my God. Watch, Banshee. I'd be so mad. I'd be so angry. Oh, there it is. Oh, my goodness. We're going to pretend I got this in 3. I definitely did not, but I'm not going to include every run that I didn't get because, man, some of these ghosts were not great. But the last one was pretty cool. Not bad. I'm going to go take a nap. You guys have fun, okay? Rafa, thank you for the 62 months, man. Holy shit. How long was that round? I don't know. Didn't even look. Don't even want to know. Don't even want to know. Wasn't all stream at least? Yeah, that's true. We still have some leftover time. And Tuesdays I work from home, which is great, but I still have to take the kiddo to school super early. Song. I can't explain how crappy the ghosts have been. It was bad. It was bad. It was bad. It was bad. Yeah. I did this to myself by doing this solo. That was all on me. Completely my fault. It would have been way faster if I had other people, but I wanted to do it solo, so I did. Where do the school start times get earlier and earlier? It definitely feels like it. Absolutely feels like it. Yeah, I take him to school super early, and then I get to work technically a half hour earlier than I'm supposed to, just because what else am I supposed to do? I'm like, I might as well just go in at this point. That's why I need at least Marina. Listen, I was trying to do all of these solo. Hyper, have a good one. Enjoy your sleeps. All right. So now the talk.
Welcome back.
Is on
There's
this.
some jobs ready for you.
Is it 2 evidence or 3? 3. 3. What I might do though, I might restart my game. Like I said, dude, I was having, I don't know what kind of issues with it. Still prestige today. I'm thinking we are. All right, I'm going to quit the game and then open it back up. It's being really, really silly. Really, really slow. I don't know what the hell is going on. Why'd you not prestige before the weekly? Because of timing. Because of timing. I'm thinking about the long run of me releasing videos. And if I prestige before the weekly, I have to wait to put the weekly out. If I do the weekly and then prestige, I can release the weekly and then release the prestige. That's why. Flash quiz Phasmo, not clickbait.
Welcome back.
But that's why.
I've got some jobs ready.
It's about timing. All right. Let's take off the special badge. Put that one on. Could do an all random? No. We did it last stream. I did a random. Yeah. No, we're going to do it now. Let's see. Okay, we are now going to finally prestige again. Before the event happens, I want to prestige and then get our level all the way back up. We're level 100. We might as well take advantage of the time. So this is our current card. If you go back, prestige 13. This is the prestige 13 card that we have. This is 14. I like the color. And I like that this changes too, which is pretty sick. So let's prestige and lose all of our stuff. We're sure.
Commissioner 4. Nice work.
Nice work. So that means we now get to do our level 1 game. So where am I going to do it? Mayor. I like the pin. Because you know it's going to be asked over and over and over. Yeah, song. Yeah. Why are you using tier 1? Because I have to. I have no choice. All right. Nightmare without balls. No, I'd rather keep the balls and also not do Nightmare. I appreciate the suggestion, though. Yeah. Willow? Yeah, we could do Willow. I like that. After going through all that shit, I'm down. I'm down for some Willow. So starting over with our new prestige, obviously we have lost everything. We have no money. We have no items. We have only starter items. So we have no crucifix. We have no smudges. So we've got to get in there, get our stuff, and get out. So let's go do the ting. Let's do the ting. Do you do speed rounds? I used to do speed running. I used to. Definitely not as much anymore.
Whoever was here must have summoned the ghost with a cursed object. Investigate it. but be
Too many words.
we don't
Difficult?
know
Yeah,
what
it can
came
be.
wrong.
Definitely can be. Alrighty. Let's do it. Eddie Rook. EMF escape in 25. Definitely possible. But let's start off strong. So we'll go in with our flashlight, go in with our things, do our normal stuff. Do not be a demon. Swear to God. If I get demon, I'm going to be really upset. Power's downstairs. Ooh, hello. Kind of hesitant if I want to use you because I don't have sanity. Or a crucifix. Or anything else for protection. Boat! Is that a paintbrush? What did I just hear? Wait a minute. Is that in the garage? No, I hear a paint. Hold on. Nope, it's right here. I don't know where the brush is. Okay, dude, I get it. Oh, it's there. Oh, I see it. Okay. Found it. Thinking it's bad on most map. I don't know what it is right now. It was like out of nowhere. All of a sudden, yeah, I started seeing some more lag, which has been really strange. Really strange. I don't know why. All right. Let's go get more stuff. How do you unlock more loadouts? By prestiging. When you prestige, you'll unlock a new loadout. All right. Well, we're about to clear the entire vehicle of all things, which is cool. We're at 91 sanity. That's fine. We've got the EMF. We need to escape in 25 if we want to get the most amount of XP we can, which is definitely possible because we could just use the garage and loop it. It just really depends on what the ghost is. That's a very big factor in this. All right. Let's go check for orbs, UV, all the stuff in the tings. Pretty active little bean. Ooh, herbs. Touch the door. Come on. Where are you?
Close the bus.
No, don't, please. I'd rather you not. Oh. Jesus. Dodge, weave, dodge, go. Open the door. Run, it's a mimic. Quick, run. All right, we need light. Okay. Bob, weave, dodge it. All right, we'll explain here in a second. Hold on, let me get outside. All right, so I have orbs, I have spirit box, I have ultraviolet. Immediate mimic. We're on professional. It has to be. Literally has to be. So now 25 and escape. So this this is gonna be a real risk. But if it's like a wraith and it teleports on top of us, I'm done for. But we can use the board, drop our sanity, and hope it's not a super fast ghost right now. Where are you? Goodbye. Goodbye. Oh, is that a fast twin? It turned off the breaker and turned it on. It changed its mind. All right, well, had a blast. That's literally all we can do. We don't have a photo camera. I can't take photos. We picked up the bone. We figured out what the ghost is. We got all the objectives. Thanks. And look at our sanity. I just got below 25. Well, we're out of here. Well, that wasn't too bad. It's because it's Willow Street. That's why. Because Willow is just chef's kiss. That's why.
Welcome back. I've got some jobs ready for you.
So from level 1 to, oh, there's our photo camera, to level 4. Nice. And this game took 5 minutes and 25 seconds. Well, damn. That was a little quick, but I'll take it. Sold. But that was the best I could do. I couldn't take photos. We didn't have a freaking photo camera. All right. Oh man. It made up for the Sunny Meadow stuff. That's what it was. That's what it was. Thoughts on Phasmo and console, and will you play on console when it drops? Well, in my opinion, PC is going to be better than console no matter what. Am I going to try it on console? I would like to. I would like to, just to try it, to see how it is, see how it plays. Very interested. Very intrigued. Salem, thank you for the 3 months. Hello. Oh my goodness. That weekly wrecked me. Absolutely wrecked me. It's not even 11:30 yet, my time, which is good. In the sense of like completing things that I wanted to complete. So now what I would do is I would speed run my way up to having all my tier 1 stuff. So that would mean that I would look, everything is screwed. Every one of these is screwed. That would mean that I would need to get to, what is it? 16? After 16, you have everything. At least tier 1 of everything. Yeah. Okay. Loadout. Tier 1. That's the funny part. Is that they're just screwed. I have to like erase this preset. Reset the loadout. Yeah. No, you're good, Inu. We wear similar glasses. Let's go. More zoom than normal. It's meant to mimic what my clips that I post are, song. Yeah. Hey, Azuka, how are you? All right, let's try to get some stuff. So 10, 12. Tanglewood. Let's go. Speed run time. Now we speed run as best as we can. This is going to be really our only friend. Unless we have objectives. EMF, photo, escape. I didn't buy a photo camera. We can get EMF though. Song stock in the talk. He is. Alright, we run to the nursery. And pray. Won't let you follow me? Oh no. Twitch being Twitch. If it starts on top of me, I might not live. Okay, dickhole. Did it go downstairs immediately? pretty normal. Say, I heard the breaker pop up here. Shannon, thank you for the biddies. Not a gin. Okay. Very normal ghost. Biddies to feed the kiddos. Hey, listen, they gotta eat. Should you submit your paper the way it is? I don't know. All right, there we go. I had to change the title. Fixed it. Oh my God, you're crawling again. This one we might have to guess on. I don't have all this stuff that I need. I don't have all the things that I need. 3 more words. And that's all. Is there any information that can be gathered by an event? Other than to get a photo of the ghost? Well, certain ghosts prefer certain events. That's helpful. Watch it be a mayor. I'll go for it. Sure. Let's go for it. Sparkle, how dare you? How dare? If it's airball, not noni, correct. Oh, Goryo.
There's some jobs ready for
What
you.
a stinky. Still unlock stuff though. All right, we go back. Yeah, without oh, you know what? We could hold on. Buy. I still have $1,000 though, so that's good. Here. Let's see. Oh God. Did it add? So, hold on. Oh, it wasn't enabled. Hold on. I'm trying to figure it out. I don't want to. There we go. Got it. Figured it out. There we go. Buy a camera. Yeah. That was my plan. It was the plan. I just wanted to make sure that it was actually added. There we go. There we go.
All right, we're here. Take a look at the equipment and prepare accordingly.
Motion, photo, EMF. Ooh.
Whoever was here must have summoned the ghost with a cursed object.
All right. Let's try. Let's try. Rod. Oh my. 0 sanity, 0 evidence. Correct. That sounded too slow for the twin. That sounded really slow. But if you're not that... A Hantu, maybe? Yeah, you're a Hantu. Okay, that's what I thought. It's like you're too slow for the twin. You're way too slow. Yeah. So she doesn't speed up with line of sight. That's how you know it's a Hantu. Watch it zoom? No. If it was a Revenant, it would be way slower than that. It would be way slower. No, we could have gone and turned off the breaker to see the breath and all that jazz, but no, she didn't speed up with line of sight. Hantu.
Welcome
Look at
back.
that.
I've got some jobs ready for you.
Look at that. 3K. Oh, whoa. Jesus Christ. Dude, the game is freaking out. It's like, update this month? Good luck. Buy. Rinsing. And then... What do I need? One of those? Or... One of those. That makes no sense. Okay. And then you. And one of you. There we go. All right. Fixed it. Part of the weekly. Lag for the entire. Oh my goodness. It was weird because it started out slow. I knew that it was too slow for the twin though. And I just was brain farting about which ghost it was. That's all. All right. See, look, we're now level 9. We just prestiged.
We've arrived. Check the equipment and get set up before investigating.
Parabolic escape and crucifix.
Reports of light switching. Possibly
All right, this time, now that we have a crucifix, we could try to make our way to the garage. Maybe. Lagging around every turn is really obnoxious. How long have I been playing? Like 3 years. Back on. That back on. Riveting compared to the challenge? Yeah, I would think so. Window touch. It's in the living room. I mean, the kitchen. Come on. Well, that's unnecessary. No, I said that's unnecessary. What's funny is that doesn't count. Delish! All right, well, this is yours now. Enjoy. You jerk. CJ. You piece of shit. It's like, oh, you're away from the breaker? Cat behavior. What's happening? Dude, this is bad. What is happening? If it's happening in anyone else's game, I would love to know. It's just been today for me. I have no idea what this ghost is. Stuttering or lag? Yeah. It's like stuttering. Like a lot of stuttering. Like randomly. And I'm looking at, I see the health of my computer and it's perfectly fine. CPU, everything is fine. Didn't tangle with last night, but it's been doing it for me in multiple maps. It froze earlier. Memory, not even using 50%. Yeah. Does it feel stalky? I don't know if it feels stalky. I could lay down some salt and maybe try my luck with one more hunt. I should have bought 2 crucifixes, but I didn't. Could drivers need updating? No. No, I keep everything updated. We tried. No bugs, only features. That's right. I haven't changed any of my game settings. I've changed none of them. Which ghosts give you 5 fingers? I mean, it's whichever ghost you have ultraviolet for. Any of these ghosts. This one can give you 6 fingers, but if you have professional and you get all your evidence, every one of these ghosts can give you a 5-finger handprint. Every one of them. Yeah. Happy little bugs. Not very happy. You know, you know what? Just for kicks, I'm going Goryo. Just for kicks. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the game. Just being a bit laggy today. Oh, it wasn't a box snake. I would have seen it shift. If we would have done some loops and poops around the car. Well, damn. Well, damn. Ghosting quiet. It was loud enough. I could hear the footsteps when the flashlight wasn't blinking, which is my sign that it's not a myling. So I knew that it wasn't a myling. All right. All right. I'm going to end things on the other places. On the tubes and the talks. I'm going to end things because we're probably going to wrap it up because, well, again, I got to get up early and I'm tired. But thank you guys for coming today, man. What a long ass freaking weekly. Holy shit. Probably the longest one I've ever had. That sucked. Do the weekly with friends. Do the weekly with friends. But we're definitely going to go raid out. We'll still be live for a minute on the Twitch. Ass weekly. That's right. You're tired? What does that mean? Why gotta say it like that, Rafa? I was hanging out with Uppy earlier, Rafa. It was pretty funny. It was just funny, some of the people coming into his stream. How's the level system work? You get to level 100 and you can prestige if you want to. If you don't, then you can go all the way to level 9,999. What is the hardest weekly? Probably the Apocalypse. This one is just a matter of patience. Patience is the biggest thing with this one. The Apocalypse one is probably the hardest, if I had to guess. It didn't want me to see it changing. Yeah. It was Shy held up a towel. Imagine being tired already. Listen here, dude. So you got level 114 times. That is correct.
Jobs ready for you.
That is correct. Yeah. Prestige Ships has been around for quite a while. And when you mainly stream the game, it's inevitable that your levels are going to go up that high. It's inevitable. Boop, 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 boop. Apocalypse Weekly is in 3 weeks. Man, I can't wait to hear what the console players have to say about it. They're going to be so happy. They're going to be so happy. Because they're going to get it. They're going to get to actually do it. Oh my goodness. Been practicing the past week trying to get myself accustomed to Apocalypse. Okay. Watching Dave. Watching Nuka Dave is a very big help. I would highly suggest it. He does Apocalypse runs nonstop. So if you're trying to get some tips, some advice, he's your man. Now, he does it on all the maps. He doesn't only do it on Sunny Meadows, but he would have the information. He would absolutely have the information you want. Things bad night? Nope. Got the weekly done. I got my prestige game done. Now we're prestiged and I can just start focusing on leveling. We're good. We're Gucci. I accomplished what I wanted to accomplish today. Was it as fast as I wanted? Absolutely not. But we did it. Yeah, definitely check him out. Yeah, he's another official creator for Kinetic Games and Phasmophobia. Dave's a monster. He's a monster. Thank you, Mayor. Yeah, make sure you check him out. Dahlia! Oh, hi, friend. What are you doing? Hi, sissy. Good to see you. Hello. Dahlia, what were you playing tonight? Oh, my beautiful friend. Oh, my beautiful friend. Salty, how are you? Oh, hey, friend. Dahlia, oh my God. I did the Faz weekly today. It wasn't a good time for us. We had some pretty bad luck. I did it, but it was just bad luck. It was not good. It was no bueno. No bueno. But how was your stream? What did you do? Sinister Halloween, then tried Gravedigger, and it crashed my shit. Oh, damn. Holy moly. So wait, did it literally crash your stream or your PC and then you had to restart? Guys, make sure you're following that lovely bean, Miss Dahlia. Make sure you're checking out Miss Dahlia. Yes. Oh my God. Wow. I didn't have any problems when I've tried. I mean, it's been a little while. I haven't played the updates or anything like that, but it was fine for me. Weird. Well, I'm sorry it crashed your shit. That's annoying. That's so annoying. But I hope the game was good, at least. Did you have any like jump scares or anything like that? Maybe, possibly, maybe, possibly. Yeah, we were winding down ourselves. I did the weekly and then I prestiged. Oh my God. Did the weekly, prestiged, all that stuff. Have like 75 OBS browsers open in Task Manager. Oh my God. Observation Duty 7. Ooh, dude, Observation Duty 7's good. That demo is really good. I'm excited for the full game. I'm really excited for it. Do the ting? What is the ting? But yeah, Observation Duty 7's sick. There's a few games that I want to play, though, that have Halloween updates that I need to check out. Prestige for the pink badge, and then nope, fair enough. You know the thing. No, I don't. I couldn't get through the map. It's going to be so... Wait, you couldn't get through the map. Oh, you mean you couldn't complete... Oh, you couldn't complete the observation duty. Oh, dude, there were such subtle differences. That's tough. Without chat, I couldn't do it. There's no way. There's literally no way. Killer in the Cabin, I'm excited for. Yes. Yes. I haven't played that in a while. The developer was super nice when I first talked to them way back. So I'm excited to play that. I have to react and say that I'm going to do that. And Friday the 13th too. Tis the plan. Tis the plan. I'm going to keep yawning. Man, it was a long day. It was a long ass day. Chat was helping, but we didn't see anything different. Oh my God, dude, we had Chris. There was, at one point, the railings on the outside of the cabin, the snow was missing. How the hell are we supposed to do that? Ass day. Yeah, ass day. Yes, it was an ass day. Thank you. I appreciate you, Song. Thank you, friend. I'll definitely let you know. The 26th is CJ's homecoming. Aw. You're welcome. You're a dumb. Welcome in. So close to buying Faz, but I have to take care of some IRL projects first. Fair enough. Let you know a bit in advance. I will, Song. Yeah. Once we know how many are going to be playing, for sure. Faz question. Does the flashlight miling test still work? Yep. Absolutely. Certainly does. Drop it on the floor. Blinkies. Yep. Works for me. Committed to selling popcorn for Boy Scouts that day too. Oh my God. Yeah, you're welcome. The bench in observation. Oh yeah. Oh, the bench that moved forward or backwards like a foot. Yeah. Okay. Right. Had no clue. No idea. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. That was an absolute troll. Agreed. Agreed upon. Ow. All right. All right. I have ads coming and I want to try to dodge them if I can. Hey, Axe, how are you? Off to sleep. Good night, Nick. Have a good one. Is someone DMing me on Twitch their game? Bro, that is what email is for. All right. I kept getting fog or something. There was 0.178 seconds. I couldn't report it. Oh no. I'll have to go back and watch your VOD. I'll have to go back and watch. I want to see what you got. I had some pretty interesting ones. That's for damn sure. Let us see. All right. I know where we're going to go. Don't mind the boner talk. You act like we're any better. It's funny. Chinggis talks about that all the time about like TikTok and like saying bone or boner and getting whatever. I'm like, dude, I say boner all the time for the game. Relax. But that never happened to me. Never happened. Never happened. You heard me. I'll say it again. All right. Here are some raid messages, by the way. If you're a follower, that's for you. If you're a sub, that's for you. Creepy little tier 3s, that's for you. Oh my goodness. Derpy, I appreciate you, friend. Weird song. Not you song. I meant the actual song playing, the music. Weird music, I guess is what I should have said. Sorry, song. The boner was pretty big in observation duty. This is facts. Dahlia, I love you, friend. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Please no. Sorry, Rafa. Sorry, sir. My apologies.
Wow, that's toxic.
Listen here. Oh my God. All right. We're going to go say hi to Break. Break of Daylight is amazing. Break of Daylight is such a great friend. Plays all the games with us. I got to play Lockdown on Glaze stream, and Break was playing. It was so funny. But guys, I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you for everything. The ads are about to play, so I'm going to raid before the ads get to start. But thank you for an awesome stream. I'll be back on Wednesday for more fun. I don't know what I'm doing yet, but we'll figure it out. If you're not in the Discord already, the Discord's there. Rest of the socials are there. I have new merch. My Halloween merch is here as well. And this one's there too. But I appreciate you. Bye. See ya. Bye. Okay. Dude says bye. I love you. Bye.